Hey, guys, and welcome to Tea Talk Thursday. I'm late. I know, I realized it was Thursday, but in my mind, it was not Thursday. And then I took a little nap. So I totally nap, woke up and ran in here to get set up. And of course, I had to get my tea ready. So that is part of the delay. I'm sorry. I'm discombobulated. I tell you, it's whatever the corona is going on that got me just all jacked up. But anyway, I'm here. I'm getting situated right now. I have to figure out which tea I'm going to drink. I'm thinking I'm going to do, I need to do this cleansing tea. So today's tea is going to be from Organic India. And this one is called the Tulsi Cleanse. And it's for stress relieving and detoxifying. Don't worry, guys. It's just a little cough. No need to be alarmed. It's all good. It's all good here. All right, let me get my tea going. I'm hoping that you guys had enough time to get your tea together. So Tulsi is a brand that I actually like a lot. Well, Organic India is a brand that I like a lot. They have quite a few different ones. So if you are a tea drinker like me, I'm hoping that you've heard of it. They are organics, which means that everything is all natural. They have lots of different flavors. So I just happen to be one of their new ambassadors, which works for me because, of course, I'm always sitting here with you guys drinking tea, and I drink tea probably 3 or 4 times a day. But they have lots of different flavors. I'll share some more details about it in my blog because I'll be writing about it, really just encouraging people to try it, see how it makes them feel, and especially with what's going on right now. Guys, the world is in shambles. I don't know if you've taken the time to really figure out what is going on, but there's so much pandemonium out right now. So get situated, get your tea together, and then I will get started. Let me get mine together. So I don't really use a sweetener. Oftentimes I will put a little in it. This one to me doesn't really need any sweetener. There's another one that I use that has turmeric and ginger in it that I love. But just a little hint. So let me get my tea ready. Let me sip it, and then we're gonna get started. That's good tea, guys. That is good tea. The water could be a little bit hot, but that's okay. So let's start. Welcome to Tea Talk Thursday. Tea Talk Thursday is basically where I bring you the tea, not just the tea I'm drinking, but the tea that's going on, the tea that I've discovered in the internet, that I've discovered in talking to people, DMs. I love that people will DM me some tea and hope that I will discuss it. But basically, my name is Tamika. I am the mouth of IG at Tamika Talks, and I'm the thought leader at Life in Pumps, where I talk about entertainment, wellness, travel, and just life in general. So today's topic is what the corona is going on. What's going on? I mean, last week I talked about this. I know briefly. I'm in the midst of, I was in Palm Springs, beautiful, beautiful weather. If you haven't been there, not very many minorities, so don't be alarmed if you go, but hey, such is life. And, basically I was like, out about it, wash your hands, practice good techniques, things that really we should already be. But in the midst of all of that, I discovered that maybe it is a little bit deeper than that. I'm still standing by the fact that I want you guys to wash your hands. I definitely want you to wash your hands. I don't want you hugging and kissing on people. Be mindful of other germs and all of that. I want you to use wipes when you're traveling, wipes anywhere in public areas where people are touching, and make sure they're antibacterial wipes, not just any old kind of wipe. But, we're getting a lot of cases of this. People are dying. Italy has shut the city down, shut it down. That is crazy. Public events. Now, you guys know last week I was in California to attend 3 events. Only got to attend 2 because they were canceled as a result of the virus. And I stated that the one, I guess I understood because everyone was close together and, there would have been a lot of food sampling, which, I don't generally do because that's a little creepy to me. But okay, fine. I got it. I want everybody in close quarters. The other one was a breast cancer conference, and a lot definitely, I have no idea what just happened. I hope I didn't blink out for you guys because I totally blinked out here. Creepy. If your immune system is so compromised, then you should always be mindful of the places that you go, not just a conference where there's going to be the possibility of coronavirus. Now, I still stand behind that. I totally believe that if your system is that compromised, then you should always be concerned about places that you're traveling to. The other thing is you should do what you need to do to boost your immune system. So let's talk about that first. So tea is one of the things that I love because not only does it detoxify, it does help you boost your immune system. Now that doesn't mean just standard Lipton tea. You really should get some good tea. You want to get some tea that's organic. It has really great health properties. There are tons around. You can look. Organic India has lots of different ones. There's a few other brands, and I'll post some just so you guys can see and check it out. I feel like tea can help whatever's ailing you. The other thing, hopefully you guys are getting enough sleep. I can't stress enough the importance of sleep and how it helps your body regenerate. You guys know I'm a napper, hence the reason I was late. I believe everyone should take a nap if you can. Take a nap. Even if it's a 10-minute nap, a 15-minute nap, put your head down, just kind of refocus, reshift, allow the body to rest. Vitamins. You've been following me, every morning, as a part of my 7 before 7, I take vitamins. I meditate. I have this whole process that I do. I use this thing called Bloom, which really helps me get centered and kind of get my mind right, for whatever is going to be happening during the day. Eating healthier. I know, if these are the things that I talk to you guys about, right? Even when there's no coronavirus going on. But it's important that I reiterate this, eating healthier. I'm not saying that every now and then you can't have fast food, because I do. My daughter is addicted to Chick-fil-A, so we're there often. What I'm saying is, in the midst of all those things, you've got to look at what's healthier and better for your body. So start looking at that. What I'm going to do starting next month, and I may actually do it this month, depending on how things go with this coronavirus, is I'm going to start doing a supermarket haul where I show you some of the things that I buy, why I buy them, how I utilize them, and how I stay within a budget. Because, we go to the market, but if my bill is almost at like $80, I'm like sweating, like, oh God, what's going on? Now, there are certain things there are times that it is going to be over $80. If I'm buying all meat, I expect it to be a little high. But if I'm buying just little things here and things there, no. So we're going to talk about that, really just how I have been making over my kitchen to make it certain that my kids don't have a choice but to select some healthier options. Now, of course, there are things that we buy that they love. And slowly but surely, I am phasing some of those things out. But I feel like, you shouldn't always deprive yourself. You should always treat yourself every now and then. So yes, hand washing. I don't feel like I need to say anything else about hand washing. Sanitizer. We all know it is what it is. There are natural options that you can get, which will, not be so harmful, but it will still kill the bacteria. I saw a post today where someone said, to all you vegans and organics and DIYers, what happened to all the stuff you were making? Because now I see that you're running to the store to buy Clorox. I thought it was funny. It was absolutely hilarious. And it's okay that that's what they're doing, because the chemical in it is known to kill a little bit of everything. I mean, let's just be real. It is. It's known to kill everything. It's just not something that you want to be using in everyday life because it is harmful to you. However, if you feel like anything has come in contact with this virus, you want to kill it. Absolutely. You want to kill it. So I don't have a problem with it. I thought it was funny, but maybe that's just me. So I want to know, how are you guys doing out there? Like, what is happening in your neck of the woods? So in Philadelphia, in the Philadelphia area, I believe we've had 17 confirmed cases. I want to say 2 of them were only in the city. The rest of them have been in the suburbs. We actually had a crazy scare on Tuesday, where a physician at the specialty center, not far from my house, treated 24 patients and then later learned that he had the coronavirus. So I think that is what kind of took people in a different turn, because it's like, okay, now we have to worry about our medical professionals and knowing whether or not, they've been somewhere to be affected. And the downside is, of course, that it's children that this person was treating. And at the specialty center, people are generally going there for, some type of specialty. I'm not quite certain what his specialty was, but I'm just hoping that, they've gotten everybody, they figured out where everybody was and when and what happened after the fact, and they've been able to kind of contain it. We did not have school on Tuesday as a result of that, because they were like, okay, we need to make certain that that the people that this doctor treated were not people in our community, to come in contact with people in our community, which really you can't, it's hard to tell, because where we live is right near the largest mall. There's a great shopping area. There's a lot of food area. So there's so many things that could have happened once that doctor left, in addition to what those 24 patients did when they left, because literally the shopping area is like, you can walk there from the facility. So of course, if you're bringing your child to the doctor, which is traumatic, you always like, oh, I want to give you a treat. So it just only makes sense that they would have gone over there. I have not been over there yet. I did go to the supermarket last night. So hopefully, things are what they are. My son did not have school today. So I decided it was a mental health day for everybody. So everybody stayed home. Watching the news, and I see that there's going to be a half day in the school district where my daughter goes to school at, which to me means that her school is probably going to have a half day. And I'm just wondering ultimately what's going to happen tomorrow. Like, will there be school? My son's school calls it a teacher in service day, but I feel like it's a day to kind of come together and figure out, okay, what are we going to do with this virus? So many colleges in our area have called an extended spring break, which basically means that the kids will not go back. They will do homeschool, and hopefully they'll come back in the fall or in the summer if they need to take summer classes, and everything will be cleaned up and fine. Like, and I get it. No one wants to take chances. No one wants to be liable, because no one wants to have that kid at school that has contracted this, and then it's a whole new level of pandemonium. The president was on last night talking about it, and in full honesty, guys, I didn't watch it. I don't know what it is. I can't watch him on TV. I did get some tidbits from it. I did watch your vice president today. I understand that he is the one in charge of it, which still kind of makes me laugh. He gave some updates, and I felt like, he was trying to say, don't be crazy, don't be in a panic attack, but be in a panic attack. And I just have to wonder how much of this is fueled by them trying to get reelected. I'm all about the conspiracy theory. The other thing is he's closed Europe, is what he said. So the messages that I got from everybody is like, he closed Europe. Can you believe it? Are you going to talk about that? So I thought about it, and I was like, okay, well, he can't really close Europe because he doesn't own Europe. Not that he owns the U.S., but he really can't say what happens in Europe. So my understanding is what happened is that he is not allowing people who are coming from Europe, who are not U.S. citizens, into the country. That's what I want to say happened. Now, if I'm wrong, guys, please correct me. Let me know. But that's what I got from that, which kind of makes sense. You want to limit the number of cases that are coming in and out of the country so that we can kind of get a better handle on it. I have been following the CDC. They've been issuing a lot of claims, basically some of them, which I've been telling you, which to me are the things that you do in general. Come on, guys, wash your hands, sleep, all of that. Those are things that we talk about every day that we know are things that we've done for our children, especially when they're little, that we focus on. We need to focus on them for ourselves as well. One other thing that has come up is you see all of these events are canceling. St. Patty's Day parade, the NBA is on hold. The NCAA is like, we're going to play these games, but no spectators are allowed. Crazy. Not only is it crazy in the fact that, super fans, but it's crazy in the fact that a whole lot of money is being lost. So think about how much money these convention centers are losing, or these hotels are losing, because, now no one is staying in there. So I know in LA, the conference that I was going to usually gets anywhere from 20 to 30,000 people. No, actually maybe 40,000. So look how much revenue is lost as a result of that. And the Philadelphia area, literally, right where Lowe's and the Marriott is are big conference areas because of the convention center. So I'm sure they're losing tons of money. So people are taking advantage of this loss of money, especially travelers, and booking airfares. So what do you guys plan to do? Are you booking tickets? And I'm not even gonna lie to you, I was online last night, like, where can we go? Let me see. The kids have spring break coming up, and I didn't make any plans because I was not sure if we were actually going to be playing in the lacrosse games. Looks like we probably won't. So I was like, we need to go somewhere. I've been lots of places. The kids haven't been as many spots, and I'd love to go to a beach somewhere and just relax where it's warm. They do say that, this virus dies when it's hot. But I have been looking at fares. I've seen some really, really good prices. Unfortunately, some of them are airlines that I will not travel. I'm just not getting on Spirit. I just can't do it. But for some people, you can. And if you're getting a $16 ticket, I think it's great. Do it. My concern is I get there and I can't get home. Something happens with the flight. I spoke with someone yesterday when I was asking the question about where was everybody buying tickets to. And she was explaining to me how she had purchased a ticket on Spirit, and she was scheduled to leave, and her flight was delayed 22 hours. How's that happen? 22 hours. And then they ended up canceling. And of course, when they canceled, they were like, oh, well, we won't be leaving out in the morning. It was like 2 more days later. So that's just too much to deal with. That would totally stress me out. And traveling, being stressed out is no fun. But I was in California, and so people were messaging me like, you're in California. I see there's a state of emergency. Is everything shut down? And I was like, nothing is shut down. I was hanging out in Beverly Hills. I went to the Grove, which is an amazing area. If you guys ever get to California, go to the Grove. Yes, it's costly. I'm not going to lie to you. It's California. I feel like everything in California is costly. It's costly, but you don't have to buy anything. Literally, I grabbed a cup of tea. I sat in the outside sitting area. I did a lot of people watching. I went in and out of some of the stores. I did lots of try on, especially shoes, but I couldn't bring anything else back. Like, you guys had to see how trifling I was coming through the airport. It was just horrible. But, I feel like it's a personal decision. A lot of people have been asking me, and it's also saying that they're going to cancel their spring break plans. It's a personal decision. If you have a small child, especially an infant, their immune system is still being built. I get it. I wouldn't want to be out. But I don't know that I would want to be out in general because people are nasty. They want to put their hands on their faces. They want to get all close to the babies. I get it. Travel has to be a personal decision. And I get it. A lot of people are scared right now. So follow your gut. If your gut says don't go, don't go. I feel like that is the best inclination that you can get. This Democratic presidential election, what's going on? What is going on? A lot of people were excited when Kamala Harris endorsed Biden, and I wasn't really sure why. Some people just said, oh, they just thought it was the right thing to do. They were just commenting on it. And other people were saying that they were excited because they hope that he then turns around and makes her his running mate. I hope he doesn't do that. That would totally mess up his campaign. And here's why. A lot of people don't like her. There's a reason why she didn't get enough votes to carry on. And we have to be realistic. When we are voting for president, the vice president is important. So my thing is, yes, Uncle Joe, I'm telling everybody, vote blue no matter who. So if it's not you, it's Biden. It could be Elmo, and I've say to this. Elmo could be the running mate to whoever the president is going to be, and I'm still voting for him. Blue, no matter who. I feel like even if they jack up, we just need somebody else to jack up at this point. But I feel like if you want to have a good chance, you got to get somebody that people care about. Stacey Abrams, I love her. She a pistol. She don't take no shit. She might be a good person for you. So check in with her. I think it'll be great if you get a woman, but unfortunately, I understand if you don't. Like, at this point, we got to do what we can do to pull out a win. And we got to look at the numbers. We got to look at the support. We got to look at who's voting for who, what people are saying. We got to listen. And so many people have, been trying to convince me to vote for Bernie. And I'm not sure why they feel like they need to convince me. I necessarily really didn't want him back in the election. I didn't like the way he handled things with Hillary. And I'm fearful that he's going to handle this next candidate, should he not win enough delegates to move forward, the exact same way. So I'm a little nervous about that. I don't dislike Bernie. I like Bernie. I like that Bernie, stands for something. I like that he was in the civil rights movement, like doing the thing. I like all of that. But I also like Uncle Joe. You guys know that. I've never not said I don't like him. I've liked him when he was VP to Obama. And the one thing that I liked and I still like about him is that he like adored him. I don't want to, that sounds a little creepy, right? Okay, let me not say that. He worked side by side with him and he looked up to him in a way that I feel like the vice president should. I feel like the vice president should not be someone who's trying to take over. The vice president should not be the person who is trying to take over the campaign. That's not who they should be. They should be somebody that you can work hand in hand together and get some stuff done. And I feel like that's what Joe did. I feel like he helped him carry forth his platform in a way that was effective. And so that, for me, I appreciate. And I feel like because he did that, now he understands and knows what needs to happen in the job. And I think that that's the type of vice president he's going to look for. Now, I'm going to take it a step further because someone posted the other day, part of the reason why they were really excited about Uncle Joe and had plans to really hone in and really watch and be supportive of him was because they're like, he ran with a black man. And, you think about it, you're like, so what? That's not a big deal, but it is a big deal because that meant that he knew that this black man was going to be leader in chief and he was okay following them. That was big. That's huge. And I didn't even think about it like that. I just thought about it in terms of the way I saw him, work with him and support him. But that's huge, guys. And I think that's something that, we got to think about and figure out what's going to happen. Not to mention, we know his wife is gangster. I loved how she was like, get off the stage, not having it. So I'm not saying that's what I'm voting for. I don't want anybody to be like, oh, she's a Biden supporter. Oh, she's a Bernie supporter. I'm a blue supporter at this point, guys. We've got to make some change. And I feel like as we're getting closer and we see where these numbers are going, somebody needs to drop out. So if it happens that the next few states, Bernie gets it and he is ahead of Biden needs to drop out because we need to rally all our support around him and making this happen. And the reverse needs to happen. That's all I'm saying. Because at this point, blue no matter who, guys. Join it with me. Blue no matter who. Blue no matter who. Blue no matter who. Blue no matter who. All right? Okay, got it. So next on the list for us to talk about. So next on the list for us to talk about is diversity. Now, I am so big on this. So big on this. Like, really, if I am working on campaigns, even so much so now, if I'm shopping in certain stores, I look at the representation that they have on the walls, the models they have. And this isn't just color representation. A lot of it is size as well. Because I feel like we have to stop painting this picture that the world is one-sided. It is not. The world is not filled with white people. The world is not just filled with black people. The world is not filled with just skinny people. The world is not just filled with long hair, blue eyes people. So we are in 2020 and we know this now. We know this now. We know the importance of it. And, growing up, I remember I didn't have a lot of representation, but now we use our voices and we're making certain that they're heard and people are paying attention and we're being represented. Like, not 100%. I'm not saying everything is perfect, but we're being represented. So here's why I asked you guys this. So a few days ago, I posted on my personal Facebook page. So some of you may not have seen this if you're not on my personal page. Sorry. Where one of my fellow breasties, a breastie is a breast cancer survivor, was feeling slighted because as an African-American woman, she has participated in several events with this particular, organization. And they were responsible. Let me not say they were responsible. They participated in a documentary, which ultimately my understanding is the proceeds from this documentary will go back to this one cancer organization called Medivivor. And so in this documentary, there is called Just One. I think it's called Just One. I'll look it up in a second and tell you. Not just one. And it's about the day in the life of a metastatic breast cancer patient. And I'm certain it's probably moving. I can't imagine it's not moving. Just to think of what a day in the life of a stage 4 patient has to be like. I mean, I know what a day in the life of a stage 2 cancer patient was like, and it's grueling. It's still grueling. Like I still 6 years later have remnants of what I went through, and I still can remember things, which is why I advocate and I talk with patients all the time. But for this to be your life, day in and day out, like you're going to have meds, you have to get scans. Like there's so much to this that a lot of people just don't understand. And I feel like people just don't understand a day in the life of just a cancer patient, in general anyway. But stage 4, yeah, it's heartbreaking. And especially because, there was a time where a lot of doctors just weren't putting enough effort into them because they felt like, oh, why bother? This is the end, whatever. Meanwhile, there are patients who are living long, fulfilling lives, and they're living on purpose. They're doing the damn thing. And I'm not gonna lie, some of them are doing the damn thing. I love to see them out on vacation, traveling the world, doing this, not letting cancer define them. And I think that is always the message, and that is the message that needs to be given in our communities for new survivors, for older survivors. Like, we cannot let this define us. So the documentary is out. I haven't seen it. I heard that the trailer for it was absolutely beautiful. I think they debuted the trailer over Fashion Week. So now it's out, and there's not one person of color in this documentary. Not one, guys. Not one. And so, of course, my friend Jersey, shout out to Jersey. You guys aren't following her. Check her out at Angel in Disguise. Got an email about it, I guess, congratulating her on, I guess she's like in a clip of it or something. They sent a message congratulating her for something, and then, encouraging her to pay to watch this documentary. And I guess she looked at it and discovered that there was not one person of color in this. And she was upset. And rightfully so. She posted it, and, she just, made her statement that she just didn't understand how there was not one person of color in this documentary when there have been several persons of color who participated in the fashion show. There's several persons of color that I know partner with Metaviver, raise money for Metaviver. Like, even if they don't, who cares? Not one person of color. So we, as persons of color, were very upset about it. We took, she posted what she said. We commented on it. I shared it. A few other people shared it. And we started a dialogue about it. And in this dialogue, we said, it's not okay. This is 2020. And the fact that nobody at the table said, maybe we need to add a person of color, because how can we effectively show the life of metastatic breast cancer without including everybody? I would have actually liked to have seen a man, because people don't realize that men do have breast cancer and get metastatic breast cancer. So I felt like if you're going to do it, there was an opportunity for you to really do it and make a hit. I mean, really drive it home. And I feel like if your goal was to raise money, there you go. There you go. So she was very upset, rightfully so. And what ended up happening is people started bashing her. I spoke with her yesterday, and she felt like they were calling her a troublemaker. I was really, really, really upset that that's how she had to feel, a troublemaker. Because if you think back in history, all the women who made noise were troublemakers. That's what they called them. Bossy. They're troublemakers. They made noise so that we can make a difference. And I truly believe, and will always believe, that the only way that we can affect change is to use our voices. Hence the reason that I sign up and I'm advocating on Capitol Hill for breast cancer research and equal health care. So I felt like that documentary would have been a perfect platform to move that forward, to move that needle forward. Like, here's why we need equal health care, because it could have showed, the differences in treatment. It really could have just showed so much. Like, that was an opportunity to really, really, really a lot of exposure. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Darlene. Thanks for joining. And I was really upset, like trying to figure out like how to really verbalize this. I reached out to my friend and I had to let her know, you are not alone. You're never alone. So if you guys have been following me, when they changed her treatment, I shouted out and asked for you guys to say a prayer for her. And I'm asking for you guys to say another prayer for her, because she's really upset that the people that she thought would have had her back just didn't. And I felt like everybody wanted to call it drama, how she was feeling. It's not drama. It's not drama to feel excluded. It's wrong. It's an injustice. And I encouraged her, keep using your voice. That's what it's for. Be the loud one there if that's what you have to do. But people need to understand that it's not okay. Then you have people who were saying you should not have been publicly shaming anybody. I personally, I read her post again, and I totally feel like I should read it to you guys. Let me go to Facebook, and I'm gonna read this to you guys. I felt like I didn't feel like she publicly shamed anybody. I felt like she light to the truth. And if you're doing something that's wrong or an injustice, and it causes people to elicit a negative response, then maybe you were the public shamer. Did we think about that? Like, we gotta stop being so quick to throw names and labels on people. So I am in support of her. I think what she did was amazing. She stood up and she stated her voice. So I'm going to read to you guys what she said. So what she said on Monday, this happened on Monday, is I opened my email to this. First, congrats on making it to the big screen, Metaviva Research Support and Inc. Anna Ono. As an African-American woman in 2020 who participated in the NYFW, which is New York Fashion Week, 3 times with other African-American women, I am surprised and disappointed of the non-inclusion of anyone that looks like me, African-American, as part of the documentary. Yes, I am in it as part of the show, more like an extra. Is the African-American presence just needed to be a check on a box? There are so many of my breasties living with metastatic breast cancer that are African-American. It's Women's History Month. African-American women with MBC, metastatic breast cancer, are history in dying at a 42% higher rate than any other race. So this is what she said. I don't feel like she bashed them. She basically was like, yeah, they congratulated me for being in a clip, but this is how I feel. I feel left out once again. Now, a lot of the metastatic organizations started because the metastatic community was feeling left out. So we can't now leave other people out. And she's right. And so basically the message that they sent her was, we're proud to announce the launch of Not Just One, a documentary featuring the powerful stories of 7 women diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer. So not just one, right? Not just one. Like, how powerful is that message when it's not just one woman, not just one man? Like, as a community, we come together and we're like, we get it, not just one. Like, that was an opportunity to totally be powerful, and they chose not to. I don't know why. I don't know who was at the table with them. I don't know who the people were who were deciding. I don't know if there was an application process. I don't know. But what I do know is these type of things, it is so important that we make sure that everyone is included. And I'm really sad and disappointed that they didn't. I'm sad and disappointed that she now feels like she has to defend her position. And I told her today, and I told her last night, you don't have to defend anything. Keep doing what you're doing. The work that you're doing in the community matters. It makes an impact, and use your voice. I mean, come on. All right. So Darlene is saying it could have shown the different ways women of color are treated in healthcare, period. Man, listen, I could write a book on that. Like, I could write a book on that. Just the women that I've spoken to just in the midst of my journey and what they've experienced. And I don't mean just because these women didn't have money. I mean, women who lived in big cities, women who lived in small cities. Like, it is crazy, the disparity that exists amongst that. She's also saying, wow, so she had a childhood friend die in November and she had just turned 40. Yeah, like, young women, because at so many young women, especially, because what happens is they're like, you can't get cancer before the age of 40. That is a total myth. You can. Part of the reason why I tell everybody, advocate for yourself. If you've noticed something going on wrong with your breast, you need to say something. Your doctor is like, no, you're fine. Get another one. So where I was so lucky, and it was totally God. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I give all credit to God behind this. When I turned 35, my OBGYN, who was like 80, was like, you need to get a mammogram. And I was like, I don't need a mammogram. I'm not 40. People get mammograms when they're 40 because that's when you get breast cancer. How stupid is that, guys? You guys heard me say that is really what I thought. Because when you watch TV, when you read about it, nobody under 40 ever gets it. That's what it was. So we had to change the narrative of that. So now looking at a documentary, looking at a day in the life of not just one, but 7 women of not color. They're the only ones who get metastatic breast cancer, and this is how they live. Oh my God, we need to fuel research so that these women are okay. Then the flip side I thought about it was, well, maybe they didn't include a woman of color because they felt like it was going to affect how much money they would get in terms of research. Like maybe they thought, if we include a woman of color, then what we're saying is that no, if we include a woman of color, our donors aren't going to continue to donate because they don't feel like this is about women of color. There's so many angles to this. I have to think back to when I was at San Antonio Breast Cancer Symposium, where we talked about these things. There was a whole rally where they were saying that scientists were not being diverse in their choosing. And, we stood by, we did a silent protest. We had signs. We locked arm in arm with people. And one of them was about diversity. Was that just talk? Was that just so we could be in a picture? Is that a photo op? I have this video that I'm gonna share out on Instagram today. Of me really just acting total crazy at the symposium. I'm doing this dance. And what's so funny about me doing this dance is the dance came after a conversation that I had with another breast cancer survivor. And she said, you know what, they're just using us. They don't really care what we think, or they don't really want to help us. They're using us. So I started doing this dance that reminded me from like the Jeffersons. And it was funny. We laughed about it. But at the end, you could see that we were affected. And we thought about it like, oh, are we still just another box to check? It's hard. It's very hard. I just don't understand. I really don't. In 2020, I can't wrap around my mind why this is still a thing. I can't. And I appreciate every last one of you who, no matter what table you're at, you bring light to the fact that others need to be included. I applaud those of you who were okay and stood with me when I made my post where I said, I will not spend another penny with any organization, brand, company, whatever, that does not see the benefit in diversity. And this is just not about being African American. I'd love to see an Indian woman, an Asian woman. I don't care what, but you need to include persons of color. Like, stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it. And I've long stopped shopping in stores where I go in and there's no representation, none. And I'm good to call some people out. Like, I have a company who, they tried to shame me, and I'm sure that I've missed a lot of opportunities where they're connected because I asked them about it. And then a few months later, maybe 6 months go by, and I see that now they got the message because now they have persons of colors in their ad. But come on, it shouldn't have taken me to ask you about it. And then you shouldn't have been angry that I asked you about it. You should have been like, oh, wow, okay. Case in point, we had a store open here in the King of Prussia Mall. You guys know that's near where I live. And all of the advertisements on the wall were of Caucasian women. So it was like a little spa type area, Caucasian women. So I'm in there, I'm talking to the marketing person, and, she's asking me, what I think of the store. And I'm like, I think the store is bright, it's colorful, but I wouldn't come in here. And she paused, and she's like, what do you mean you wouldn't come in here? I said, I would never shop in this store. She was like, why? Why not? You said it's bright, it's colorful. I said, it is. I would walk by and that would be the first thing I said. Wow, that's a nice looking store. And she says, well, why wouldn't you come in here? I said, because this store isn't for me. And she said, what do you mean it's for all women? No, it's not. If it's for all women, there'd be representation of all women on the posters. And at that moment, she looked and she realized that there were about 10 posters up on the wall, beautiful posters of women out at the beach, beautiful, relaxing. And not one of them was a person of color. So she looked at me and I said, yeah, I said, advertising matters. I said, marketing matters. I said, and what you're showing me is that this isn't for me. So I said, cool, not a big deal. I get it. Won't be coming here. So she gave me this gift card for me to go back. The gift card still sits on my desk because I have no intention on using it. No. And I walk by the store often just to see if anything has changed. And she had stated to me that the pictures would change. And that's why I tend to walk back. Haven't seen it yet. And I've sent her an update, but it's cool. I'm not her demographic. And that's what I said to her. I said, I'm not your demographic. I said, and I get it. Sometimes in business, we have to look at who our demographic is. And I'm not it. I said, maybe the products that you have don't work for my skin. I don't know what it is, but there's no representation of me to even figure it out. So I can't utilize the store. All right, let's see. Hi, Esther. Thanks for joining. So she's saying that she has found that people who deal who she deal with in business have been clueless, and it's my job to let them know to expect to see diversity in the brand. Absolutely, Esther, you are a champion, and I appreciate you, which is why whatever you're doing, I'm always going to support. She's also said that happened to her. That happened with a blow dry bar she recently went to. All photos on the wall were white women. I need to contact the corporate franchise. Interestingly enough, we have a dry bar here. And I said that to the woman. Now, I went in the store. Of course, they knew that I was not getting anything done to my hair because, I got to wash and go. But I went in and I did ask them. I said, oh, who do you service? And she's like, everyone. And I said, oh, okay. And she got what I was saying. And she was like, well, it's all in technique. So she was trying to clean it up. And I said, you know what? And like I said, I am so okay that we're not your demographic. I really am. I really only went in there because they had this lemon moisturizer that I wanted to see, not because I wanted to buy anything. And I would not have bought it out of there. The only places I'd seen that you could buy it was there and maybe Sephora, and I wasn't near Sephora. So I went in there. I had no intent. I'm not their clientele, and I got that. So I am okay that if you are marketing to your demographic, that is totally fine. That is totally fine. That just shows me that I'm not your client. So don't then be mad that I'm not shopping in your store and not utilizing it because I'm not your clientele. So I feel the same way amongst all organizations. This breast cancer one is just an example. And I have to wonder, okay, the African-American women who are part of this organization, who are on the board, how are they feeling? How are they really feeling? And are they strong enough to be honest with themselves about it? I know people have been raising money for this group and doing things for this group. How are you feeling about that? I've done some things with them and I'm feeling a little slighted. Oh, okay. I'm not your demographic. And I'm not saying that I just want to raise money and do stuff for the African-American community, but it is important to me. Absolutely. I want to know that these dollars are going to help them as well. Yes. Esther basically said we also need to target any panel that does this. Mia agrees. Oh, listen, you already know. I was at an event they invited me to here in Philadelphia. I got there and literally looked at the panel and was like, you gotta be kidding me. This is not what we're doing. This is not what we're doing in 2020. You can't tell me that you couldn't have found anybody. And I asked them and they sent me a message and they were like, we put out what they said, they put out a press statement asking for contestants, and no one responded back. And so I knew it was a lie. I'm not even gonna try to sugarcoat it and make it sound like something. It was a lie. Because I was like, well, I didn't get the press conference. Not that I would have press release, not that I would have wanted to be on the panel, but I was like, I didn't get it. And I'm thinking to myself, well, who to go to? Because if I got the invite for this, I had to have been on your press release list. What happened? So yes, guys, we have got to continue to use our voices, and we got to support one another. And, in another group I was in, we talked about how, oftentimes white women are the ones who are at the table and we're not, and they have to champion for us to bring us along, which is why I said I love Esther, and I know that that's what she does. She makes it a point, and I will support her. So if you guys see something that Esther's doing, you guys make sure you support her as well. Tanya, hello. Thanks for joining. You've missed most of the talk, but that's okay. So guys, I just want to leave you guys with that. Thank you for listening. Thank you for those of you once again who have championed behind me in this community. I appreciate you. I ask that you continue to fight for injustices against whomever, the elderly, the young, the brown, the black, the green, the white, purple, and yellow. But first, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm totally distracted today. But yes, Jersey girl, this is for you. I love you. Keep using your voice. Don't forget, guys, to follow Angel in Disguise. She's selling some really cute shirts and some really cute bracelets. So totally support her. If you don't know what she does outside of using her voice for advocating, she takes around, she drives breast cancer patients to their appointments in her own personal car. So she's always raising funds. If you know anybody who wants to partner with her or champion with her, please reach out to her. I'm sure she would love the help. But that is it for all I have today. Not getting off the soapbox because apparently I have to stay on the soapbox. But I will update you as I get more information. Oh, wait, I do need to update you. So apparently Metaviver came back and they made a statement kind of apologizing, but not really apologizing and stating what we knew, the whole numbers thing and all of that. But it was kind of like too little, too late. And then it's like, okay, great. You apologize. So now what? What is the next step that we do now moving forward? What's the next step? And I don't want any one individual to feel like because people recognize and shout out an injustice that it's against you, because it's not against you. But it is against you if you said that the table didn't say anything. If you didn't think, you know what, I need to include them in this. I need to say something about this. And especially when you didn't say anything, but you're quick to try to use an African-American person to check a box. All right, guys, that's it. I'm leaving now. I promise you I'm leaving. If you guys have questions, if you want to DM me, if we want to talk about this offline, please send me a message. Yeah, lots of changes are going to be coming, and I'm going to need your support and your voices. But have a great Thursday. Don't forget to get your tea. Mine is already cold. I'm going to go warm it up. I will be talking to you guys online. Have a great one. Bye.